Hello, everyone. Today we're going to touch on the church modes that we often call also the Greek modes. Why the church modes is because they were derived from medieval theorists who discovered the modes, and also by changing the role, the order of the whole steps and the half steps in the scale, in the major scale, if we can say. It's bringing a whole new world of possibilities and sounds, and that's how we call this music modal music. So, to be more precise and so you understand better, I chose the three first modes. Of course, the C major scale is called the Ionian mode, so you all know that, starting from C or any major scale. And so we'll consider that C is the first note, D the second note, and E the third note, and so on. And also, you all know, it's very basic, that the half steps are between 3 and 4 and between 7 and 1. So between E and F and between B and C. So now, it becomes interesting, sorry, when we start with the second note, when we start from the second note to the second note, so from D to D. As you see, the half steps are coming earlier in the order of the notes. So between E and F again, and between B and C again, but they're coming in the second order or third order, even if we call them still third and fourth, derived from the C scale, but they're coming in the second and third place. So this is why, by changing the order of the whole steps and the half steps, we have a different sound. So if we take the D minor scale, there's a B flat, D minor natural, and if we take the D Dorian, then you raise the sixth note and you play, instead of playing a B flat, you play a B natural. So that's the change from the D minor natural to the D Dorian. You raise the sixth note, but you can also find that Dorian mode starting from the second note to the second note, keeping the same note as the Ionian mode, as the major notes, major mode. You keep the same notes, but you change the order. So between E and F and between B and C again, but they're coming earlier in the scale, which creates a different sound than from the major scale also. So that creates a different atmosphere, the different ambience, and also there's no leading tone to the tonic. There's no dominant kind of dominant tonic feel to a modal, a D Dorian or a Dorian mode. So it's like the music, the relationship between degrees is changed. We don't have that same tension dominant tonic. And so, same thing, when we start with the third note of the C scale, we start with E and we finish on E, we see that the half step comes right away at the beginning. So there's a flattened second here instead of going or becomes. So I didn't have room to write the Lydian mode that comes after. You have the Ionian, the Dorian, the Phrygian mode, and then there's the Lydian. I didn't have room for that, but you understand that you start on the fourth and you finish on the fourth. So how does that sound on the piano? So of course in the Ionian mode, I won't spend that much time because you all know some chord progressions that we can use. Let's say C major, A minor, F major, and G. 1, 6, 4, 5 degree. And, you know, there will be so many other possibilities on how to use chord progressions in the Ionian mode. But if we take the Dorian mode, so the most common song that everybody knows is Scarborough Fair. So I'm going to use the top view, so you can go like this. So basically there was this chord here, D minor, and then the G major, so the 4th degree, D minor, there was F major at a certain point, and there was C major. So we don't have that relationship. It was more a 7th degree to a 1st degree. So by just playing like a D minor chord and a G major chord, just playing with these two chords, we already feel that D Dorian. So remember that the D Dorian is kind of a D minor natural, but with a raised 6. And the half steps come earlier in the scale than in the C scale. They come right away in 2nd and 3rd. So that's why we have a different sound and a different world of possibilities with the modes. The sounds are completely different, and the ambience, the atmosphere, everything sounds different with the modes. And then there's the Phrygian. The Phrygian is often used in the Spanish music. You will often have in the Spanish, Phrygian Spanish, you will have a G sharp. Otherwise, Phrygian could be only. So remember, there's a flattened 2nd here at the beginning if we compare to the minor scale. So in the Hungarian Rhapsody number 2, Liszt Rhapsody, differently when we recognize the modes. We say, oh, that Liszt Rhapsody was actually using the Phrygian mode. And actually for me, the major and the minor scales are fine, but when you get into the modes, I find there's so many other sounds possible with these modes, and it brings, some changes, some fantasy, some, what I like to call a new world of possibilities using these modes. And so after that you have the Lydian. So the Lydian, if the Ionian is on C, the D Dorian, the E Phrygian, then the F Lydian. If we compare it to the F major scale, think that you have a raised 4th. So it sounds a little bit fairy. Instead of playing we hear it a lot in Disney music, in film movies and film music. So you have this fairy sound. And it's also, the Lydian mode was also used in The Simpsons. So if we take that same Lydian mode. So we started on the fourth note of the C scale. So what is the fourth note coming from? If we start on C, it's coming from the G scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the G scale has an F sharp. So it's a raised fourth again from the C major. So that's what you have in The Simpsons. Okay, so these are the modes that I wanted to introduce today, but if you want to start improvising with these modes, you can start easily improvising on the white keys at first. Don't bother about finding the mode on the starting with C. It's fine if you do, but then you have to calculate. If I play Dorian, Dorian means if I'm starting on C, it's the second note of which scale? The B flat scale. What's the key signature? These two notes. So C is the second note of B flat major. So you use the same key signature. It's a little bit more complicated. It's not undoable. You can manage, but you have to calculate. If you play Dorian, it means you're starting on the second note of any scale. You were starting from D to D from the C scale. So if you start on C, you have to figure out that C is the second note of the B flat scale and find out the key signature. But for now, just improvise on the white keys and we'll skip the C major scale. We'll go straight to D Dorian. And what I suggest to start with, to just improvise in D Dorian, is that you play a drone in your left hand. And you use the notes from the D Dorian scale, D Dorian mode. Here between the seventh and the first note of the mode is very important. Again, you don't have that dominant, that leading tone to tonic. So spend time on this one. And that raised sixth also. And then if you want to go faster, you can just move the drone. This way, so you can just play with the drone at the tempo you'd like and think of questions and answers in your right hand. As I always mention, you can sing when you play. Your melodies will be more natural if you're able to sing them, and you'll be more able to anticipate what you want to play. So questions and answers, you go up, you go down, play a drone at the tempo you'd like in your left hand, and that's already a start to improvise with the modes. And then the Phrygian, again. Spend time with these three first notes because they really define that Phrygian mode. Sing an octave lower if you like. And then again. a Phrygian mode playing from E to E. If you want to find it on C, you have to ask yourself, C is the third note. Phrygian mode is made of the third note of any major scale. So the third note of which scale? You have to go back to A flat. A flat has C as the third note. So you apply the key signature of the A flat major scale to starting from C to C, right? And then the Lydian, again, as I was saying, if you play it on C, you raise the fourth note. If you play it on F, from F major, you raise, or you use the wide keys from F to F from the C major scale. So, see, you can improvise using that fairy feel that we find often in a Lydian mode. So just to summarize, and I'm coming back to the camera, the church modes are made out of a major scale, but starting from D to D, or from E to E, or from F to F, if we're using the C major scale. But otherwise, you can think that you're starting from the second note to the second note of any major scale, and that the half steps will be misplaced. They will change order, and that is the thing that will create the different sound and different color to your mode. And so after that, you can start improvising with the drone in your left hand and creating nice melodies while singing them, creating questions and answers. And then, you can change the tempo of your left hand. If you like that drone, you can go like this also, like a little repeated pattern in your left hand to create some kind of, some excitement also to your improvisation. To your improvisations, you can go slow, you can go moderately fast, you can go fast. That's what you can change. Your melody can go up, balance back, and go down afterwards, and always come back to that first note as a pull, even if we don't have that relationship dominant tonic with the leading tone leading to the tonic. Even if we don't have that relationship, come back to the first note as a pull to which you're attracting your improvisation. So let's say if I'm playing in D, Dorian, I'm coming back to the, and I had a pedal meaning a repeated note in the bass, coming back to that D minor chord, which is the first chord of that mode. So I hope that helps. If you have questions or any comments, you can comment below. I'm always excited to read your comments. And I will cover more on these modes during my next masterclass on March 18 to 22 at 12. So it's next week at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Zoom. As usual, I'm putting the link to register below. I highly recommend that you come live because you can experience live with me and get the feel of the whole class. Some people are asking questions, you have comments, and you can ask your own questions, of course, and it's way more exciting to come live. And also there are freebies and bonuses for people who come live. So I'll put the link to register. I'll cover the modes, I'll cover some warm-ups, I'll cover how to improvise nice melodies, to have the sense of pulse. This new thing also I'm gonna cover about musical forms such as AB, ABA, and the blues. And there will be some bonuses, not only for people who show up live, but some extra activities that I'm gonna add up And for teachers, I'm also giving a lot of tips on how to improvise and use improvisation in your studio. So come and register to the masterclass. Come live as much as you can, and I'll see you there. Bye bye, everyone. Have a great day.